were afraid you weren't even going to make it. So, like, what were you dealing with as far as health wise, or anything you want to mention?
Well, I had diabetes. When I first started this journey, if anyone knows what an A1C is, it's basically a number they assign to your average of your glucose levels. And mine was 11.2. Average is somewhere around 5. When you're around 5, you're not a diabetic. And so I was extremely high. That means that I would say probably my fasting sugar was over 200. So eating nothing in the day yet, I was that high. I was on metformin. I was on glimepiride, which is a morning med. I was on Trulicity, which is an injectable. I was on, what was the other one? Glimepiride, Toujeo. So I was on 4 different medications just for managing diabetes, and I was still failing at it because of my diet.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a huge one. Of course, with diabetes comes all these plethora of diagnoses and illnesses that follow right behind it. Like I had hypertension, fatty liver disease. I had neuropathy in both my legs, which is a numbing and tingling and painful at times
My mom has
condition.
that, so I know
Yeah.
exactly that.
I had hyperlipidemia. I had cirrhosis of the liver.
Mm.
They told me I was in stage 2 or so, maybe I think it's stage 2 of kidney failure.
Oh my goodness.
Um, vitamin D deficiency, iron deficiency, anemic. So I mean, there it was all facing at me, and I was still eating horribly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like my mind is just blown as to why, not just people in general, but me, why do we do that to ourselves? You
Mm-hmm.
know, we're sick and nearly dead. We've got one foot in the grave and we're still eating crap. And it's just so sad.
And what I find also sad, and I don't know, there's is the medical industry was giving you 4 medications, and I noticed in the beginning of this you said I had diabetes, like you don't have it anymore. So
No, I
like,
don't. Praise God. My A1Cs the last 3 times were 4.8, 5.2, and 5. And so I'm not considered to be a diabetic, but they won't take that diagnosis off of my chart
mhm.
until 2 years have passed that I have normal levels. And so it's just been about 9 months since those 3 levels have been in the 5s, and so I've got a little ways to go, but I'm going to prove it to them. has not criticized me about my diet.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
mean,
they should recommend that diet to people instead of Trulicity and metformin, right? But I know they have their procedures that they follow too. But that's what I
mhm.
try to tell people, like, do your own research like she did, because the fact that all those things, so all of those things basically have, you're not taking all of those different medications.
No,
What's the
all of those, I mean, I was on a whole list of them. I was on gabapentin and methylcarbamol and olmestat, just all these for every diagnosis I listed to you. I was on some medication for them.
mm,
And at this point, the only two things I am still taking is a vitamin D and an iron, and that is the only two vitamins
mhm.
I'm taking. I
That
am
is
off every
amazing.
single one of my medications. They did not want it. The cardiologist and my regular doctor did not want me to come off of the cholesterol medicine. And but my cholesterol's normal. Oh, well, we have to protect damage that could have been done when it was so high. And I'm like, I'm coming off of it. And
Mhm.
she's like, okay, well, we'll just retest it. Well, we've retested and it's still low. And so,
Oh, amazing. Thank
yeah.
God. I mean, that is truly a miracle. You guys see why I wanted to bring her on here? Like that, for people who are suffering or struggling or maybe having side effects from the medications, because all those
Yeah.
conflicting together, that can't also be good for you. You probably had I noticed when people are on a lot of medications, those could tend to cause it. And not that everybody's journey is the same, but like, when did you start noticing differences? Like, how long was it that you started to realize, like, wait, I think this raw, vegan thing is working for me?
Um, a lot of it right away, because actually the other thing that I need to mention in this is that my eyesight improved.
Wow.
Um, I found out that I wore glasses my whole adult life, and I ended up with a cataract in one of my eyes, and this just real recently. And so he's like, we got to fix that. I'm like, okay. So we go in to fix it, and afterwards he's like, well, your right eye has improved so much that you don't need glasses anymore.
What?
And so, yeah, so I mean, it improved my eyesight.
Oh,
But yeah, so and that was at the beginning, not even that far into my journey. So with going vegan and then the raw vegan, it improved my eyesight. But I would say with the raw vegan, I started noticing immediate changes in my skin and my complexion.
mhm.
Um, I don't have it to show you, but I know it's a little weird and unconventional, but I used to lose a lot of hair, a lot. My hair is pretty thin. And I started saving. At the end of the month, I would take out all the hair in my brush and I would roll it into a little cannoli looking thing and I would save it.
Oh,
And
wow.
each month it got smaller to where now I maybe have this much in my brush now. And before it was like a big hunk in my brush at the end of the month. And so I'm not losing any more hair. Now, one could say, well, maybe you've lost so much, there's no more left to lose. But I truly feel,
Yeah.
because it feels healthier and it looks
Mhm.
healthier. And those are things I've noticed, my skin wise and just the health of my hair. I noticed that right away. Like, I would say in the first month, I
That
noticed those
is
improvements. And by the second month, because I've just been raw since June.
amazing.
And so since June, all of this has transpired, all of this medication reduction, my eyesight, everything, my hair, all this has happened since June. So you're
That
talking
is
about 4 months on this way of eating has done this for me.
That is and in 4 months, and people think, well, I can't start something like that. That could take years to happen. No, like, and I felt the same way, like with the effects of going raw. Just 1 second. No, I don't. You have it. I think you took it in there this morning. Sorry, we're sharing one charger in this house, so it's a big thing. Dawn says hi. I thought she was coming in because you said you improved your eyesight.